So we got more Batman footage, and I'm wearing my The Batman t-shirt to celebrate. So we're looking at The Batman official clip, funeral scene extended. Rec Vinci is the one that uploaded this. I think this was officially on Twitter first. That's where my brother reacted to it. And then he hit me up with a text message and he's like, you gotta look at this. I'm like, all right. So I'm looking at it now. The Batman official clip, funeral scene extended. If you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. By the by, we've got trailer reactions to The Batman and reactions to the breakdown of the trailer to The Batman. If y'all want to see that, there'll be buttons at the end of this video, and there's probably links in the description below. All right, here we go.
You're not doing anything. If I'm elected, I want to change that. Thank you. My God. I'm gonna go pay my respects. Will you wait for me? I want to continue this.
So quiet and mysterious.
Excuse me, Chief. Can I talk to you? Gil Coulson is missing.
What?
He hasn't been heard from since last night.
Christ, not again. Hey, Mr. Wayne. You got people looking for him, Jim?
Sent a couple guys to his house. Nothing.
What does wife say?
She hadn't heard from him.
Can you imagine? You see this super famous billionaire, you're all excited, and he doesn't even say anything back to you.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car and show your hands! Get out!
I'm gonna interrupt this real quick. I know that's annoying, but I gotta interrupt it to say, I just really appreciate how this is being done with a very measured approach. And what I mean by that is it doesn't feel rushed like you're seeing a lot with films today, where it's cut, and everything's moving really fast. It feels closer to what Nolan would have done in that there's this building of suspense. And in fact, I feel like this takes even more time than what Nolan would typically do, because Nolan actually cuts a lot quicker than this. There is this sort of slow buildup that's happening within the scene. I don't even know where this fits in with the rest of the movie. I have some sense, but for the most part, like I'm completely ignorant, right? So just on the merits of the scene alone, I'm like, oh my God, like this scene has me really, really excited in terms of how it's building up the character of Bruce Wayne, how it's building up the tone of the film, and how it's informing how the rest of the movie might play out in terms of its pacing and whatnot. There's like this anxiety that's happening. You've got the gothic Catholic church music in the background and the dark lighting. It's got a sort of neo-noir look to it. I really, really like it.
Get him up! Get out, show him!
Christ, it's Coulson.
There's a bomb around the set!
Let's clear this place out now!
Batman, rated PG-13, exclusive in IMAX, only in theaters March 4th.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about this is we didn't even see anything. We didn't really see anything at all, but it did everything right as far as I'm concerned, as someone who just loves movies so much and has grown up loving the Batman character. I don't know if y'all can see it, but like I got Batman paraphernalia from when I was like 2 years old. Anyway, I really appreciate just the suspenseful buildup, like I said a moment ago, because it's not moving through this scene very, very quick. It's allowing you to really feel like you're part of this world in terms of how everything's moving along. Now, there might be quick cuts for action sequences later, but as evidenced by the trailer, there are long takes in the movie where Batman's just kind of going through people, and it's not cutting away, which makes it feel more like you're there. You're a fly on the wall as all of this stuff is taking place. And because of the sort of quiet buildup, it makes it feel more anxiety-inducing, especially in an age where there's so much noise. Even in the way that this is probably being edited, there's very little gap between anything I'm saying because I have this like constant fear that my audience is just gonna bounce if there's too much of a gap in between two sets of sentences. So I'm constantly cutting out those spaces in hopes that it'll keep the audience around longer. Here, it's throwing all that away. It's like, no, you're here to stay. This also explains why the runtime of the film might be so long. I heard it's bordering on 3 hours long. If this is why, because it's taking its time like this, I don't mind even a little bit. I think it's really, really cool. Because if you watch any TV show that's dealing with superheroes and stuff like that, it's usually like kind of moving quicker along. Like I've been watching Superman and Lois. It moves fairly quick. The pacing is the biggest thing that jumps out at me, and sort of the moody lighting and whatnot. Off of the trailer breakdowns and whatnot, I'm guessing that's the Riddler up top, right here. This is doing so much with so little. It's magnificent because all you have is a silhouette and this buildup of really eerie music. And then on top of that, you got Robert Pattinson's expression, which he's not doing a lot, but he's doing enough because there's like this fear, this is anticipation and determination. He knows that the kid's in danger. He's determined to keep him alive, obviously. He gets him out of harm's way. I just love the use of lighting throughout this scene and the expressions and the simplicity of it because its simplicity is actually quite effective. What we start out with is everyone is just sort of looking confused, right? They're all looking off at the back of the church, uncertain as to what's going on back there. But everyone is like collectively concerned, afraid, unsure, and then it just builds up and gets worse because the car comes crashing through the building, right? So what's happening here for me is because you don't see what's going on, it makes you more afraid. Even though we as the audience know what's gonna happen because we've all seen the trailer like 18 times, right? We've seen multiple trailers where we know that car comes crashing through the building. But even within the confines of the scene, kind of like removing that from memory, I think they did a really good job of building it because they're keeping the suspense lingering longer and longer because, you know, the music is sort of building to this crescendo while everyone's looking outside and you don't know what they're looking at yet until it comes crashing through. That's frightening. One of my favorite moments in this scene was when the cop recognized Bruce Wayne because he's like, hey, Mr. Wayne. He's like so excited. Obviously, I don't know if that cop ever encountered Bruce Wayne before in this story, but I can imagine any one of us encountering someone famous who turns away from us in a similar manner. Like, I remember when I met John Lasseter at the movie premiere of Up, and I'm like, oh my God, John Lasseter, I'm a big fan. And he just was like, uh-huh. And he walked away. I'm like, damn, what a dick. And you're so excited and they just like kind of blow you off. Now it's understandable here because you have a better understanding of what's going through Bruce Wayne's head. The weird part to me is when everyone's clearing out, not Batman, but Bruce Wayne is hanging out. And I feel like that's gonna raise some suspicion. That's gonna raise some eyebrows. And so that does seem a little bit odd to me if no one approaches him afterwards and it was like, how come you didn't bounce? My guess there is that no one's gonna care. No one's gonna be, because they were all concerned about leaving. Either they were concerned about leaving and anyone who was behind is concerned about the bomb. And they're not really paying attention to the fact that Bruce Wayne is still there. But I feel like at least one person would be like, how come Bruce Wayne didn't bounce? Billionaire, like why didn't he run away? And why is he so mad? Other than that little thing being suspect, I love this scene. I thought it was cool. And it makes me really, really excited to see how the rest of the movie is gonna play out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And let me know your feelings, thoughts, theories in the comments below. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm Jaby Koay. Peace out.